everyone.
Hi.
It's been a while. Excuse the wet hair. Yeah, it's been a while, and we thought we'd just pop on and give you a little update of where we're at and why we've been away for so long. It's been a time, hasn't it?
Mm.
So we
As always.
yeah, we've had a few things going on. I had a little skin cancer scare back sort of around Easter time, wasn't it? And but thankfully, I have to say, it was dealt with very, very quickly. They put me on the 2-week pathway, and I got seen within days, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah.
And they've sorted it all out and caught it early, got rid of it, so that's good. Got to go back in a few weeks for another follow-up just to check, but you know, fingers crossed. So we thought, right, that was that all over and done with. And after 3 years of being really careful and having all our jabs and all the rest of it, we got COVID.
Oh, yeah, COVID-1D.
Yeah, it was really, really awful. We were so ill. So Gary got COVID first, but we thought it was flu. Back in February, we both had flu, tested negative all the way through.
Yeah, that was pretty rough, actually.
That was really rough as well. We thought it's obviously because our immune systems were a bit low or whatever. And yeah, so Gary went down with another flu, as we thought. You were just aching and shivering and just really feeling rough, weren't you?
Yeah.
And yeah, so Gary was really, really rough. What's he going to do? I'm trying to talk sensibly here, and Gary's going to jump in with something stupid now.
Well, I've just got this hairy growth on my finger. I'm not really quite sure what it is.
Anyway, it's the muff from the camera.
Muff.
Yeah,
That's a good word, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, so Gary was really ill.
Grossly misinterpreted.
And because we look after Dad, we want to make sure that, you know, even a normal flu would have sort of like been terrible for him to catch. So we're always really cautious. So we started testing. Basically, yeah. Yeah. So Gary went down with COVID, and well, he went down with what we thought was the flu again. And obviously, because I look after my dad and everything, we have to be really careful, because even just a bad flu or a cold, because he's sort of so asthmatic and everything, it could be really bad for him. So we're always really cautious. So of course, first thing we did, start testing, and Gary tested negative. So we thought, and bless him, he was really good.
Yeah, I'm always very negative.
Yeah, he is always really negative. He was really good though, because he wore a mask. We've got like an air filtration system thing at home, like machine thing. We put that on. He slept in a separate room. He ate his meals at a separate place.
You shouldn't give away our love life like that. I wore a mask and there was no smooching. No,
it's all right. We've been putting subtitles on the television, and there's lots of different genres of music keep coming up that we'd never heard of, and the word smooching keeps coming up a lot.
Yeah.
Gary's obsessed with it now, but anyway, we digress. So yeah, he was testing negative, but he was wearing a mask. He was in a different room, so that I could carry on caring for Dad without having to worry about going down with anything myself. And then about 5 days on, I started to feel ill, and it was just like I was aching all over. I was shivering. Then I was like really burning up. I had a terrible temperature, didn't I? And we've got a blood pressure machine at home, because Gary obviously takes his blood pressure since everything happened to him with his heart.
I'm the bionic man now.
And I started to get really dizzy, and I was like virtually passing out the whole time. Hello, Pab. Yeah, virtually passing out the whole time. Took my blood pressure, and it was so incredibly low. I was really ill, knocked me literally off my feet for about 4 days, but we were ill in total for about 2 or 3 weeks, weren't we? I never felt so ill in all my life. And I was testing negative. And so Gary had stopped testing at that point, because obviously he had been negative. I was, and then I woke up one morning, came downstairs to have a cup of coffee, and just like tasted it and went, oh, this tastes like liquid metal, it's horrible. And then I couldn't smell anything. So I'm going around the kitchen picking things up to try and smell. Couldn't smell anything, and then realised that all my sense of taste and smell had gone. Rushed upstairs to get the test, tested strong positive. So it was really strange, because we'd both tested negative virtually all the way through, hadn't we? And it was once we were sort of coming out of it and starting to feel, almost getting to the point where we're starting to feel better, although I was still ill at that point. And yeah, I did speak to the doctors, but they weren't interested at all. They basically said, if you've got COVID, you can't come to the surgery, and we don't really want to know. So, you know, they weren't. And I said, well, my blood pressure's really low and I'm really ill, but they weren't interested. So yeah.
No, just get on with it.
Yeah, so that was that. I think they'd been more interested in normal flu, but there you go. Anyway, so it's been a bit of a time, but as we speak to you now, we are away with Dad.
Top secret location.
We are on staycation. We are at exactly the same place, in exactly the same lodge as we stayed in last May. And
yeah, you might recognise the wood.
Yeah,
a year older.
Dad wanted to come back here for a break, so we've come down here with him. We haven't filmed. We've only got 2 days left here now. And we haven't filmed this time because we just wanted to chill out and spend some time with Dad.
Smooching.
Just spend some time with Dad and just relax really. So I've been going for a morning swim every day. We've been to Silent Pool again and Mendy's kitchen.
Not really much has changed, so.
No, I mean we've done a lot of the same things that we did last time.
If we covered what we sort of pretty much covered last time, it'd pretty much be exactly the same, but a year later.
Yeah, and we just thought, to be honest, we just want to chill out a bit. So yeah, but if we do anything different, we'll sort of pop it in at the end or something. But yeah. The only difference is, touch wood, so far this time we haven't had to end up at the vets with Pablo having his leg all bandaged up.
That shows you. Yeah. But that's pretty good weather, to be honest, so far.
Yeah, yeah. The weather's been absolutely awful. However, it just started to turn just as we came down, didn't it? And the last 2 days have been really sunny and nice. So
it's a pretty good place to watch aeroplanes. You agree to that sort of thing? Yeah, because obviously we're not that far from. As far as a crow flies, we can see all the stuff climbing out of Gatwick, so it's, we're just watching all those people jetting off.
Oh yeah, that's another thing we've done. Well, I could put some little clips in from that actually, and that's another thing we did. Very exciting, but not for us.
Yeah, what?
Well, our daughters decided to go to Edinburgh Zoo for a weekend to go and see some penguins. Sir Niels, apparently, or Brigadier Niels, is some penguin with a medal.
He's a decorated penguin.
Yep, and they decided...
military decorated, not like
they haven't painted him.
You know, like...
So they decided to go up to Edinburgh to go and see him, and so flying out was going to be like something like £30 each, flying out from Stansted, and then flying back was about 300 each. Yeah. So they had to fly out from Stansted and fly back to Gatwick, which we said, that's all right, you know, we can sort this. And they were going to get the train from Gatwick when they got back, and go and stay at our eldest daughter's, and then we were going to drive up and sort of collect a younger one from there and whatever, and spend a day with them. And then there was a train strike. Yeah, parlay. Yeah, there was a train strike announced, so it put pay to everything. So our daughter ended up coming home to us a day early, working from home with us. We drove them both up to Stansted to drop them off. Yep. Which was a con. Oh, well. So you literally...
Yeah, I strongly recommend against doing that.
Yeah, it was almost like...
Against doing that, sorry.
They almost did like a barrel roll out of the car. It was so quick, wasn't it? But literally, as you pull up to drop off, it costs you £7 for the privilege.
Yeah, you drive into the drop-off bit, and you can't just drive out, it's all barriered.
Yeah.
There's automatic barriers there.
So you have to pay £7 for 15 minutes.
So you pull up, and they get out of their car. They all had there was hand baggage, so they literally just got out of the car. We said bye, and then we drove off, and that was probably a minute.
Yeah.
And it cost us £7. Yeah. So yeah.
But anyway,
people from Stansted watching this, behave yourselves. Total rip-off, profiteering.
Anyway, before he gets on a roll, they came back to Gatwick. So Gary said, let's have a date night. Let's go. We dropped Pablo off with Dad, and he said,
"There's some holiday makers, can you hear
him?" Yep. Dad said he'd look after Pablo, and we said, he said, let's go up there. Let's make an evening or afternoon of it. So they were due in sort of late evening, or late sort of early evening rather. So we drove up there, paid a fortune to park there, didn't we, as well? But anyway.
Well, in comparison to what we paid.
Well, yeah, so it was £25.
65 seconds at Stansted.
£25 for 4 hours, 5 hours, or whatever it was. I don't know. Can't remember now. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, you can get. I mean, you can get a couple of hours free in a long stay. but then you've got to like bus over and things.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a.
But we didn't know
Could have done it.
We didn't know how long we were going to be.
No,
So
that's
anyway,
the trouble. We weren't quite sure exactly when they were coming in. So.
Gary said we'll go up there and we'll have a meal up there and we'll have a wander round. So we went up.
Yeah, because last year when we went, no, it wasn't
not last year. It was 2019.
No, 2019 when we did fly out of an airport, not just
to
visit
Florida.
it.
Yeah.
We wanted to go to Giraffe, so it's really nice. Let's go to. I fancied a burger, back in the day. And let's go to Wetherspoons, which, if you've seen the vlog, was a complete disaster. She actually threw up, and I mean, I can eat anything, and it actually made me feel a bit rough.
Not saying that all Wetherspoons are bad, but that
that was a very bad experience. So I sort of had to live with the guilt for the last couple of years.
I didn't give him that guilt. He was his own self-inflicted.
Carrying the burden of guilt of Wetherspoons, and so I thought, no, I need to put this right. So we went to Giraffe.
So he treated me to a date night at Gatwick Airport.
Where we should have gone. Where we should have gone in 2019.
But it was really nice actually. We had some food in there, and we wandered around.
Nice chicky burger, chicken and things and stuff.
And basically, what happened was the girls' flight was getting later and later and later. It was delayed more and more and more, and we ended up virtually sleeping at the airport.
Well, it made a bit of a day of it, didn't we?
Yeah, well, we were going to make an afternoon evening of it, but we managed to make an afternoon evening and night.
Nice meal, little look around, nice coffee, nice cake.
Yeah, so we went on the shuttle a couple of times. The monorail thing, wasn't it?
Quite a few times.
Yeah, just to try and kill time.
Even filmed it once.
Yeah, well, I'll put those clips in.
Put the camera.
I'll put all the compilations of any clips we've got. I'll put in towards the end.
South Terminal, North Terminal. Where should we go now? I know the South Terminal. Oh, now let's go to the North Terminal. So we sort of went.
We were trying to kill time basically, and we went to have a little visit at the Sofitel hotel that.
Yeah.
We had a look around there where we'd stayed again in 2019.
Yeah.
The most exciting thing was we went on a travelator.
Oh yeah.
Which we haven't done for a very long time. But it was strange being at an airport and not going anywhere. It felt strange being there.
There's all the excitement of going somewhere and then they're not going.
I said to Gary, I'd sort of feel ready now, but obviously we haven't got anybody other than Dad to look after Pablo at the moment. And we don't like to go too far, so we can get back quickly. And the thing is, when we go to Paris, obviously the shuttles, the Eurotunnel, run every sort of 20 minutes or so. So we know that we could get on one in an emergency if we needed to. And going in the car, we know it's only a few hours drive, and we can be home. So for us, that's the way forward at the moment. In other news, going back to the Gatwick thing, actually, we ended up not getting home till early hours of the morning next day.
Flight just kept. I mean, the initial arrival was what, 10:15?
Yeah.
22:15. And I thought, it's going to be a bit of a ball ache. It's quite late, but we can do it. So, but then it just kept getting later. And
what made it worse was driving home as well. They'd shut part of the M25 without any notice, and they took us on a detour.
Yeah.
And good job we have the sat nav, because the detour signs were all up. Go this way, diversion, diversion, and they just took us down these country lanes, and all the signs disappeared.
Yeah.
So, but
no, it was the 23, wasn't it?
Was it
23?
Oh no, I think it was the M25. But anyway, regardless.
Oh, it was the M25. Yeah, it was virtually where we needed to be. We were literally one junction away from where we needed to be.
And they took us off
across
down
the river.
Some magical mystery tour.
And they completely blocked it.
We're on a travelator. Haven't been on one of them for a while. Look.
Yeah.
Boing, boing, boing.
It's not bouncing very much, though.
Travelator. Shame we're not going anywhere, isn't it? But anyway, so that was that bit of excitement. But we do actually have, we've just literally booked a little trip to Disneyland Paris so that we can use our annual passes. They run out in August, so we're going to use them this one last time. I mean, I don't suppose we'll get to use them again after that. but we're going to use them. But we're actually doing things a bit different this time. So we are going to drive up the night before, because usually we travel on at weekends, but we're not. We're going to be travelling on a Monday. So we thought the traffic could be bad. It only takes one little thing, and it means we've got to get up mega early to make sure we don't hit any traffic. So we've managed to find a really cheap deal for a Premier Inn. So we are going to stay at Premier Inn at Folkestone the night before, so we can take you with us there to show you what that's like. Oh, that's Pablo having a bark off.
I think basically.
So we'll take you with us there to see what that's like. And also I said it cuts the driving down on the day, because it's a couple of hours for us to get to Folkestone, and then obviously you've got the drive from Calais to
it's quite a long
Paris.
day.
So it's a long day, so we thought it would break it up a bit. And then we're also staying somewhere different this time. Oh, mosquito, gnat, whatever it is. We're staying at the Village Nature, which Gary keeps going, just call it Nature Village. They get their words the wrong way round. Yeah, Village Nature, or however you want to say it.
Yeah.
We're staying there at the recommendation of Ed and Chris. They have been there a couple of times now and they love it. We did look to go to Stay City because it's always reasonably priced and we don't mind staying off site now. I did phone Disneyland Paris to find out about the annual pass discount for the Infinity Pass holder, and it was still so expensive. It was over double what the cheap, you know, like what one of the dearer off-sites was going to be.
Yeah.
So we just, it's just not a doable thing anymore. Stay City was booked up, unfortunately, and Gary said it's our fault. We've put all these vlogs up saying how wonderful it is and everyone's going there.
Yeah, there is a downside to promoting something.
Yeah, so but we managed to get an apartment at Village Nature, so we are going to stay there and we can let you know what that's like. So there you go, that's where we're at. So we thought we'd just pop on and say hello and let you know what's been going on and why we haven't been around. So sometimes life, well, I say sometimes, always life seems to throw us curveballs and things, doesn't it? I mean, we've had loads of other stuff going on as well, which family stuff, which we won't go into obviously, but yeah, there's been lots of things going on, and it just, life takes over, and so we do this as and when we can. But yeah, so anyway, I think Gary wants to go and do some plane spotting.
Yeah.
Right, so any clips that I've got of anything, they'll all be random. You'll just watch random bits and I'll put them in at the end. If you want to watch the staycation thing, I'll perhaps link that at the bottom, so you can see what's here.
Yeah, it's quite comprehensive. It covers pretty much everywhere, really.
The only thing we found that's changed, excuse me, the only thing we found that's changed is last year, it was the first year they'd hired this particular one out, and it was pristine and it was lovely. And a year on, we have found lots of things that we've sort of pointed out to them, only because we don't want to lose our deposit for them thinking it's us. Yeah. But there's things like, you know, the freezer drawers are all smashed up, and
well, there's a big crack across one of them.
Oh, it's really broken.
I can't imagine how you do that unless you like.
I mean, it looks like somebody's hit it with a hammer. All the glass tables have got big gouges in them.
Well, this one has.
Yeah.
This is on an outside glass top patio table, and it was immaculate last year because I washed the glass over, but now I've washed it over there. It looks like someone's been ice skating on it.
It's
literally
awful.
They're really deep.
And there's things like some of the pull cords on the curtains have gone. There's rips all in the nets and everything. There's lots of bits. There's stains all over the floor. And when I was telling the lady at reception, I said to her, you know, there's lots of bits and pieces. And also, we couldn't get one of the patio doors open because they've lost the key. So when I was telling her, and she said, you wouldn't believe how some people treat places when they go and stay at them. And I said, you know, when we go, we treat it like it's our own home. You know, we look after things, and
well,
probably we leave it cleaner than we found it.
When you go somewhere, it is your home for however long you're staying there for. So,
yeah. But we treat it with respect, and we often leave places better than we found them, actually.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, she said, if anything, when you go somewhere, you look after it more because it isn't yours. And I said, well, yeah. And she said, you wouldn't believe how some people leave things. She said, sometimes we've had to go on with almost like the Hazchem kind of outfits on to go and clean up after people. Yeah. And you just think, I just don't get it.
But you do get it. I mean, you look at some of the.
Hello, Pat.
You look at when you fly somewhere, and when you get off off the aircraft and you're walking down the aisle, and you look at the state of some of the areas that people have been sitting in. They're just covered in like food and drink and crap all over the floor. It's just like,
yeah,
unbelievable.
But it's still lovely here anyway. But anyway, we're going to go now because we've bored the pants off you.
Yeah, we're going for a smooch.
No, we're not.
The subtitles on smooch.
I've just been for a swim.
Which is very similar to smooch.
I need to go and get some food because we haven't got any food left.
Yeah, we're just eating wild rabbits at the moment.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Anything else we can find on the floor?
I wouldn't do that to a bunny. Anyway, battery's about to run out. I'm going to say goodbye. Look after each other. Be kind. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Later, dudes. Bye.
For a walk with Dad and Gary and Pablo. It's very hot.
Doesn't like camera.
No, he doesn't. Dad and Gary are taking a slow stroll up because Dad struggles a bit now to walk. Me and little Pabby here have just come up because there's a little church up here in this village that I came to with my mum, and I just wanted to come back and walk up to it just to remind myself about it. It's just down a little alley, little lane I mean, but I'll turn you round and I will show you. It's this little wooden church here. It's tiny inside. I don't think you can go inside today. It's sort of in the middle of nowhere. St Michael's Church, Farley Green. So there we go. Right, so now we're going up a little footpath through the village and see where this takes us. On a bit of a magical mystery tour. Looks like it takes us into somebody's back garden. Right, so I suppose if we go through here and then across there. Slight interaction there with a some kind of dog. Oh look. Tractor. Pablo's living his best life today, look. Hopefully he'll sleep well tonight. But how lovely. Peaceful. All you can hear is the birds chirping. The old men walking. So that was interesting. We just found that there was a electric fence across the public footpath and there was two little handle bits and we're thinking, is that going to Give Gary a shock. Oh look, there's some rabbits. I don't think you can see. Hold on, I'll turn you around. Can you see all the little bunnies? Bunny over there. Don't know whose idea this was. I'm going to end up with stung legs at this rate.
Can't hear it.
So we have just come to Shear. We are in the pub called the White Horse, which is where the film The Holiday with Jude Law, Jack Black, Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz was filmed. So we're just sitting out, because we've brought Pablo with us, so we're just sitting out on patio bit at the back in the garden. But as I go through, when we leave, I will show you sort of the bar where they met, and you know, it was in the film and everything. But it's very pleasant. So the food's just come and looks delicious. I'll show you now. So Gary has got a chickpea and cauliflower curry, spiced curry, with his poppadoms and lamb. Dad has a, is it steak and ale pie you've got there? Steak and ale pie, which looks, oh, that looks scrumptious. And I've got a lasagna. It's a red wine and pancetta lasagna. So this looks very nice. So this is obviously a photo of a holiday. It's very nice in here. It's the bar where they looked across.
Being grilled.
There we go. Yeah. Very pretty, very nice. And there's the stocks that if Gary doesn't behave, I shall put him in.
Yeah, I've heard about girls like you. Maybe I could put you in the stocks.
Is it, Pab? Are you looking at the ducks? Where they gone? Where they gone?